Hello, Steffi here. It's time to talk real people, real lives. Today's episode is a saying, girls can do anything. Have you heard this before? Somehow you can remember? Maybe your parents told you, but you didn't take any notice. But later on, when your parents maybe passed on, then you realize, oh my goodness, girls can do anything. My parents said it all the time, but I didn't believe it. But now I believe it. Why is this that I suddenly start believing in myself? And this is what our guest experienced. And I can't wait to hear his story about your self-discovery. Hi, welcome Tracy.
Thank you, Steffi.
Thank you so much. We had a good chat before.
We did. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Lovely to see you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for the invitation.
I'm so excited. What happened?
Yes.
That suddenly you realize, oh my goodness, girls can do anything. And I know you can. You do it. You are the walking proof.
Thank you. I appreciate
definitely.
that. So I don't know if in New Zealand people remember in the 1980s, the mid-1980s, there was a slogan that came out. It actually was a bumper sticker. It actually said, girls can do anything.
Cool.
And I really remember, particularly my father, which of course, was a role model, and my mother, but particularly my father saying, girls can do anything. And I just think took that in. It was very unself-conscious, wasn't even aware of it. And then life went on, I became a single mother.
But you heard it all the time. But
all the time.
Yeah?
Just sort of must have settled in and felt quite comfortable or something like that.
Yeah.
Also from my mother, of course, but because it was from my father, that real,
awesome.
dad,
Yeah.
and everybody knows dad has so much power, particularly in the relationships between fathers and daughters. And my father, by the way, I need to say this, was very old-fashioned. So this was quite a modern, contemporary thing for him to say.
Yeah.
It's quite a traditional gentleman. He was very old-fashioned. He didn't like swearing. I swear all the time, which is my rebellious side, which I love. But somewhere in there, I took that message, and I sometimes feel that I took it really deep down until I became a single mother.
Yeah.
So I felt pregnant in the Himalayas. I was traveling in Nepal, and I met a very hot young man, and I ended up coming back with a front pack, and and I remember telling my father, who met me at the airport, I was totally hippie, and hey Dad, I've been away 7 years, and he goes, oh cool, got your backpack? I said, and my front pack, and we went down the freeway or the highway in Auckland. And he started raucously laughing because he suddenly really realized and clicked what I was actually saying. Here I was at 26 coming home with a front pack, and he goes, oh my gosh, you're pregnant. So I actually felt really capable to take on being a single parent, and I chose it really consciously. I really believe a lot of that goes back to that early messaging that I just settled down into me. But as you know, the journey goes forward. I lost my parents when I was 35, and that had a huge impact on me.
Wow, yeah.
At the same time, they passed at the same time after 57 years together. They taught me a lot around spirituality and Wairoa at that time, because I was actually a hardworking single mom. But what they taught me was that, they were strong. They were like soulmates, and they weren't leaving without each other. So they actually left. They actually told us. I'm the youngest of four, and they just told us that they were going to leave, and they actually did. That's completely true. So this is a bit of a spiritual Wairoa side.
I've got goosebumps.
Yeah. Well, my hands are zinging because it's a truth, and I actually lived it. Now, to that point, I have to share with you, Steffi, my spirituality was just very not even. But after living that and caring for them both for 3 months with my daughter, being a single working parent changed my life. And I think this was the beginning of the chat we're going to have around that messaging, that strong messaging. Because I gave up. I'm just a gardener. I have a sixth form.
Don't say just.
Well,
Important.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's important.
Yeah.
And I just have a sixth form education.
Don't say just again.
Okay. I have a sixth form education. But all my friends around me all my life have been all long-term friends, 30, 40 years from school. They're all scientists and doctors and lawyers, all women, all capable. And I just went on a different journey, traveled the world, came back with this beautiful Nepalese Himalayan mountain baby. But that strong messaging, my parents passed, so then I was still a working single parent with no actual guidance from my parents. They had passed. But I think that's when those strong, messages really started to kick in. So my daughter moved overseas and I started adventuring again, going back traveling. But I don't know what happened in 2015, just that strong thing kicked in. I gave up a really good job. I was really well paid. I'm laughing because now it feels like it's nearly 5 years ago. And I have just literally lived on that message deeply within my wairua, my essence of girls can do anything since. I have not had a proper job for 5 years. And I have just winged it.
But you're the happiest person.
I am.
Do you need a proper job? As long as you survive, your happiness
that
is
was
more
part
important.
of the learning, was to let that go, and that fear and faith. I'm not a religious person. Fear and faith of taking that first baby step. And I always remember my parents also saying, just take baby steps.
Yeah, as long as you move forward.
A forward motion, one in front of the other. And I literally did that. And as you were aware, we met in an amazing space. So I digress. I'll come forward a couple of years again from that. So for 3 years now, I've been running a small charity, which I'm immensely proud of. I'm a chairwoman, and I'm Māori, so I'm very proud of that. And there's a lot of mana. And I spoke with somebody the other day, and they said to me, Trace, what is your goal? My goal is to gather mana, which is dignity and respect for my team and for our peeps, who are the homeless, vulnerable community. So I'm talking about the people living in the cars, on the cardboard on the ground, in tents, under the bridge, having a really shit of a time. Hard time. And I've been doing this with our team of volunteers, which I'm still a volunteer for over 3 years. I'm immensely proud of that. And over time, we've started working more with the bylaws team from the council, with the local police, the local constables and stuff like that around safety and things. And we're all learning on a learning waka together. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, not only that girls can do anything, was that, when I stepped into this was very organic. I remember meeting you and I was in a really organic place, not just as a gardener. We were becoming a charity. I was going to become a chairperson. I was so nervous and so anxious. Can I do it? Can I keep my word to the peeps? Can I keep my word to myself? Can I keep my word to our team of volunteers? Can I take us for, I'm talking leadership now. I'm talking leader and being a female leader in a very uncomfortable place, because as you know, you work in prisons and I work with very interesting souls as well on the street. It's bloody challenging.
Oh yeah.
Every second.
Yeah, but it's interesting and exciting. I love meeting those people, listening to their stories and making a difference.
Absolutely.
This is...
Yeah, and they have taught me so much. So the first thing I want to say about our beautiful peeps, our vulnerable street community, which I'm talking just the CBD of Tauranga, as you know. I'm talking just, sort of out to 4th Ave through to the bridge. There are heaps. I don't know if you're aware, team, but it's 4,000 homeless people just in Tauranga itself. Now, when I started in the middle of 2017, it was 500. We've seen a 3,500 increase in 3 years through lack of housing, lack of affordable housing, and many other things. But what the peeps have taught me about this, they're really real. And with them being real, it's allowed me to be really real. I'm just Fire Trace, Auntie Trace. And I've organically grown into that as the trust, and I know you know what I'm talking about with your prisoners, as the trust has grown between us. I've stepped into being auntie, which is hugely proud of that. I walk along and some random, hey, auntie, and I'm like, oh, and 3 years ago I would not have envisioned that would be my life, that street people would be yelling out and acknowledging, and I love it. I absolutely love it. The other thing is, they're really smart. They're very savvy, and they've taught me how street smart and savvy they are. They can tell an insincere person from a sincere person, and I love that about them. I love they've got that radar, that intuition. And there I've seen them just walk away. I love it, and I'd go, check you out. Hey, you're smart.
I always say hello. Always say hello when I see people. And you know what? Because I like my exercise, and I go biking sometimes start biking in the dark. I see so many families
living in cars.
The cars.
It's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking.
It's absolutely
and
heartbreaking.
Then, honestly, I bike and I say, oh my goodness, I am so lucky. I have somewhere to live. I can pay my bills. I have food on my table. What else do I need? They live in cars. They don't have jobs. How do you get out of this? How, to get started again. This is the thing.
A reboot. It's so
to
hard.
find a job, and have a house and all this.
Because their wairua is diminished, their spirit is diminished, their self-esteem. their mana is almost, you know, and you and I, when I first started, these are all the things I needed to learn about the shame they carry. Our street people, our vulnerable homeless carry, men, women, all ages, all cultures,
But they're
by
smart
the way.
people. That's what I say in prison. There are people and guys so I work with guys, they are smart as.
Yes, they are.
They don't belong into prison. We need them outside. We need workers with brain.
Yeah. That's so true.
No, honestly, that's what we need. Something has to change inside there as well, but it's a totally different video.
So the other message I just wanted to talk about was that actions speak louder than words. Now, that was my whole parents' catchphrase of their life.
Schools.
And they lived it. And I realized later that I just naturally absorbed that because they just lived it. They were not religious people. They were not political people. They were not even philosophical. They were just your good Kiwis who just were both school teachers, some good values, some good morals, nothing, be kind.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it? Look, tattooed on my arms. Look at this, kindness. Aroha's compassion. So it's interesting how this is before the charity, by the way. This is already on me. But I just absorbed that being a young person, not realizing, when they passed, what I missed the most was that I didn't even understand what good human beings they were. They were just my mum and dad. I just took it so for granted. I didn't know that I'd been around that energy, that wairua, that essence. I just thought that's how everybody's parents were until they left and they were gone within 6 weeks. And then I went, hang on a minute, I miss my parents. No, I really miss the fact that each of them were really good people from inside out. You could
formed you. Yeah, that's the person you are now today.
I'm becoming
that.
Yeah, because of them, because they gave me that. But that action speaks louder than words. So I was just saying to our friends here, that too much hui, not enough dui. What we love in our team of Street Kaias, our small charity, our powerful little charity in Tauranga, group of aunties, is that is the reverse. We're all about the mahi. Let's get the work done. Enough chat. Let's get on with the mahi. I have a theory that I'm working through in my charity, is that our mahi speaks, your work speaks. I had my first experience of walking into a flash cafe the other day, and the whole thing went quiet. And I realized that's because our team's work speaks. And that's actually what mana is. Mana is because they learn about you through your work. You live it, and I'm sure you do that in your work in the prison. They know who Steffi is.
Oh, heck yeah.
They know who Tracy is.
Yes, that's
or
right.
Auntie Pip or the other
They have
aunties.
respect. They have respect because, like you say, you do what you say and you say what you do.
Exactly.
There's so many out there, they say things and nothing happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like you.
Yeah.
I want to have things done.
Yeah.
And I want to see results. Check, done. Next.
Results, outcomes,
next.
and I want it now.
I want it now or yesterday,
Yes, absolutely.
But we need people like this, otherwise nothing's going to happen.
That's right.
And we go in circles and circles and circles, but we are the one who take action.
Yes, that's right. And that thing of action. And so I do often sit back, when I'm watching politics, I just have to say it, or
it's interesting.
Interesting, or local community stuff, like our council, just as an example, and I watch what they actually do. Not what they say. I go, yep, sweet. But then I actually watch the action that happens. I go, like Yako resigned, just as an example. And I've met him through, the work with the homeless.
I know him.
What a lovely man, you know. And then I went, you know what? I get that for him and his journey going forward.
Yeah.
But
it was a new hope for our city.
Totally.
He was a young guy. He has really good values. He wanted to make a change, but because of working in this kind of environment, he said, you know what? No, I'm out of here.
And I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Good on him. It's like Tom Muller.
Yeah, that's
with
good.
His men, with his journey, he knew it. And actually, I admire him for making that choice. And Yako too. Because I think it's very difficult to make that choice.
We need people like Jacko. So hopefully he's going into Parliament
somewhere.
Somewhere,
totally.
He will. It was just a start. It was just a start for him.
Got a taste for it.
Yeah. To see, oh no, I don't want to work in this team. I'll find a better team. But he is a doer.
Exactly. And he's young, he's a young father, a young husband, and he's got that different perspective.
Yeah.
That's what
we need people like you. Honestly, I've seen you had quite a few awards, from the city council.
Thank you.
It's so amazing.
I know, we're so chuffed. And can I just say, and I want this to be completely to all the wonderful people that are going to see this, anybody can do it. I'm a single mother. I am going to go on about my education. I got my sixth form education, but I have life education and I have life experience and life wisdom. And I know that Steffi, and I'm not going to look at you this moment, is the lived experience. And I talk about this with our aunties on the team. I'm actually the youngest. We progressed right through to 86. I'm so proud of that, of our aunties that are also in their 80s. I mean, they're amazing. And that wealth of lived experience as mums, aunties, nanas, and knowledge, and all of us have had shit. We've just had different shit, right? But we all continue to walk the journey forward together, and that's what we're really proud of. The waka just still goes forward, even if it's just step by step. But you know, if I can do it, anybody can bloody do it. So you know, working single parent, gardener, you know, flower grower, but determined. You know, I saw a problem in the community. I know, Steph, you know, I created a community response. I saw a homeless woman with bare feet. I didn't know that she was a mother or a grandmother because that was irrelevant to me. All I knew was that in my very privileged, entitled, wealthy city that I live in, which is the 5th most unaffordable city in the world, was a grandmother standing in front of me in the middle of winter in bare feet, freezing. And that was the moment that it, as I said, the tortilla flipped. I went, not on my watch. That's not okay with me. And I just became very determined about it. And that, you know, we rustled up some sneakers. It's just, you know, and it just occurred to me to ask the very simple question, which I still ask in our team. What do you need? You know, we're a community response to an immediate need. And I'm talking socks and underwear, as you well know, sanitary products, toiletries, sleeping bags, tents, whatever they need. Practical, useful stuff. I had a chat with Auntie Pip this morning, who I'm really looking forward to coming to joining you. And I said to her, you know, what are we really about? We're in our 4th year. You know, we're organically always moving forward. And she said, Tracy, you know what it is? To be useful. We're just a group, a team that want to be really useful on an everyday practical basis.
You are.
From the simple question, what do you need?
What do you need? But like what you say, you know, making a difference. You guys, so I've been, you know, we loved the bread, you know, it was cool.
Then she went to the prison, she left us.
So,
I was very proud of you for doing that.
Oh, thank you.
Because you also spoke and spoke your action and you lived it. That's what's important to me.
But like meeting you and meeting the Peps and you know, and I went home and said, okay, what is in this house, what I don't use, what can make a difference to someone else. I found sleeping bags, I haven't used for ages. I found some shoes and I found things. And so I put this together, you know, I came over and then we said, oh, do you need this? And then you see the smile, their eyes, they are so happy, so thankful to get this. And you know they were going to use it. And that makes your heart, it's just,
I know. So I wanted to share with you a cool waka that we're on. We started a community garden for our peeps. One of our aunties, Rapul, I want to really honour Auntie Rapul, got hold of us during COVID. We were in emergency service. Said, I've got this 4 garden bed that I'm not using. I mean, huge, 32 square metres, by the way, that we're not using. And I don't know how to garden. Just who happens to be a gardener. But Auntie Pip's also a gardener. Many of the aunties with all their life wisdom are gardeners. So we took it on, and on Monday, Labor Day, which I'm so proud of, we were already in the mix doing it anyway. We've grown exactly the seeds and seedlings the peeps wanted us to grow. Scalopino, every herb, beans, peas, kumara potato, not surprising. Everything they wanted to grow, parsnips, carrots, you name it, tomatoes. We're going out as a team to plant them all on Labor Day and have a lovely curry together. And this is, I know. So this is the progress that we're making, is being in the mix together. Now we're just a massive team and we just go out together. It's very relaxed, low-key, which they need. They need to know they can just be themselves, that they feel comfortable with the aunties. We have a cuppa, you know, share the pickings. But the planting of the garden, so on there at the moment is the compost, the blood and bone, you know, seaweed. You know, I'm so proud, man. It's just like living the dream.
No, honestly, it's amazing, making a
Creating
difference.
A dream.
And you don't know what's coming out of this again for someone else. Maybe someone said, oh, I actually would like to work in the garden. Somebody, you know,
absolutely.
You don't know.
Can I share the most beautiful moment was that we didn't tell them where the garden was, because obviously it's in our auntie's backyard. It's in a private property. Well, when we arrived, we had 7 of our most amazing peeps with us. So this one gentleman lives under the bridge, several live in tents, several live in cars. They've had a hard time. Some of them have been working and lost jobs because of COVID. It's sometimes out of their control, and you need to know that. It's not, you know, it's just stuff has happened, right? So we jump out of the van, we got all our tours, and stuff, and we wander down. And because Rapul is Indian, she's like, namaste. And I'm like, namaste. And I said, well, you have to call us onto the land. The peeps were like, you mean she's given us her garden? I was like, yep, she's gifted us our garden. I saw grown men well up that live on our streets. They were so deeply moved that an individual of our community, of our team, would gift them who are homeless, not just their garden, the entire backyard has been given to them. So we got down there. I had tears, they had tears, but the wairua, the essence, the feeling, we like to call it the feels between us. So though she was Indian, haere mai, she took us down. The peeps blessed their garden. They did waita, which is they sang, they blessed the corners with water, which is great. And then we had a cup of tea and piki, and then we started our garden. And honestly, it was worth 3 years of hard work on the streets to have that feeling, that wairua, that essence, that this was our garden. And I felt it to the core of my being. And the journey we've been on with them in the last few months, just with this garden, it's just been, I couldn't have even, not even bro, like the wairua of that, the essence, the mana. What I noticed was they immediately stood taller. They have a garden. An individual in our community she didn't know any of the 7 men. It wasn't about that for her. It was what it would do for them, what it could do for them. And man, I'm so proud of that.
And, things like this, the happiness, then self-confidence builds up again. And then they open up and say, you know what, I can do this. Yeah. I can do this. So they actually moving forward in life again. And then maybe it comes up with a job. And then, they can afford a house again to live, don't live in a car.
Start back in part-time work again. That maybe becomes full-time work. Or maybe they decide to go into some training because the confidence.
But it gives them also the belief, there is hope out there.
Totally. Well, we're coming back to self-belief, and that there are good people out there that will walk with them on the journey. And that's probably what we're proud of as the team of aunties. Through our life wisdom, we understand the importance of walking beside, like you're doing in your journey in prison, with them, walking forward together. And I think that's the value of women and elders, and I'm meaning all the aunties who are, wow, they're amazing, and coming to with that wealth of lived experience and wisdom. And you can't discount that. It's more than, it's just so extraordinary. And I think you'll understand this if I use this term. Auntie Pip and I often talk about holding space for others. And I think what I'm really proud of in our team and our charity is that as we've grown organically, and we're growing with them. I mean, I'm a different person 3 years on too, because I'm sharing the journey with the peeps, walking with them. Very challengingly at times, not all the time, but challenging.
But nice challenging.
Yes, nice challenging, and expanding even. But the thing for me is that holding space has become, I really get it. At first I didn't even know I was naturally doing it. People would say, you know what you're doing, you're holding space. I go, am I? But now I totally get it. I go, that's what we're doing as a team. We're holding space. And they're now sharing, and we're doing it together. We've actually gone away from Malonite, you asked me earlier, into a much more collaborative. It just happened organically, and I honestly mean that. It wasn't even, it's just what evolved out of COVID. We needed to change, and we needed to go forward on the journey with our peeps, with our homeless, vulnerable community. And it's just been extraordinary. I wouldn't have believed we were going to have a garden, 6 months ago. Who knew?
This is But is it like you say, you can do anything, and if you can. And suddenly doors open for you.
That's
like you say,
right.
you couldn't see 6 months ago, but now it's oh my goodness, this and this is going to happen because we believe. Yes, I can do this attitude, and suddenly. Boom,
we're away.
You're off.
Yeah, and also that thing of, like it was offered to us, Auntie Rapul offered, Pip and I had a chat, but then we also chose to pick it up. Yes, we'll take up that garden. And what a joy that's been. I mean, for me, even as a gardener, as a living, this is a whole different feeling. This is a real wairua, true essence. And that thing of the feet on the land, we go out there, we put our bare feet now, and seeing those peeps who then return to their tents and under the bridge into their cars. But they were different. They were literally, and I can't make this, can't make this shit up, excuse my language. There was definitely a difference in their mana and wairua. And when they saw Rapul the next time when she came for a cup of tea, they were just so like, oh, Auntie, you're amazing. You gave us a garden. and the mana in that for them, and I've loved seeing that.
Yeah, they start believing in themselves as well again, and for them, if there's somebody else believes in them, this is the biggest what I experienced in prison.
Yeah.
They really appreciate. I do this volunteer. I travel only 5 hours voluntarily to coach them, and they never ever anyone did something volunteer for me in my life.
Yeah.
But we are from the outside, we're doing it, we're stepping inside and we're helping them.
Yeah. But it comes with a very different feeling, doesn't
yeah,
it? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When you're volunteering and you're a community group or a charity,
Just loving
the
it.
peeps just can't believe it.
Yeah.
They're just like, what? Same thing.
Yeah.
That feeling, hey, those aunties would, check that out. And there's a lot of hard caseness, as you know.
Oh,
you know?
heck yeah.
And a lot of banter and a lot of cheeky, a lot of swearing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on,
Yeah.
But what I love, as I said earlier, the realness. And
Yes.
it's allowed me to be real.
Yeah.
And I think be more authentic maybe than I've ever been. Other than the fact that I'm getting older and I feel more authentic, But it's, there's this whole really quite interesting journey we're sharing.
Oh, yeah. So, this is amazing. It's amazing. I think we could talk all
I think
day.
we talk all day.
But so what
I know you need
message,
to wrap
Tracy, what message do you have, like coming back to the saying, girls can do anything.
Man.
So what message do you have?
Okay. Look, I grew up in small town Katikati. 400 kids at my high school. My parents were both the teachers there. It was horrendous.
Oh.
That was quite challenging. I'll leave it there. But I definitely remember that 1980s, and it really was genuinely a bumper sticker in New Zealand. It was on, girls can do anything, and that message from my father. Can I just also say, having a mother that was a teacher and quite ambitious in her own career, and also I didn't understand that in the 1970s how fortunate I was that I had 2 working parents.
Yeah.
And I didn't even understand how amazing it was to have school holidays. I just thought everybody had school holidays with their parents. I didn't realize. Remember, I was really little at the time. But what I want to say is, if you're determined enough, and I think it's your mindset, if you make up your mind, which I did in that moment, looking at that grandmother's feet, I was just determined. I won't use the word I'd like to use, very determined, because I know I'm being naughty, to change something in my community of Tauranga, because I just couldn't believe there was a woman, a grandmother, standing in front of me in bare feet. And so it's also, but not just about self-belief, but of self-determination, absolutely determined. And I think I'm most proud of, and this might crack you up, Steph, is the sheer grit of hanging in.
Yeah.
Because this is taking on the council, as you know, which I've done, walking with the police, as you know, the bylaws team, getting the bylaws squashed, the 5-metre bylaws squashed for rough sleeping. And, that's hard stuff to go out and speak your truth. And
But you're a doer. You're a doer.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Because
it's
it's
like you, we're so similar. We're very, very similar and very determined to walk in. I would say, be brave enough to walk into spaces that you feel uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
That would be my message. And I'm determined, and it just made it happen. But the thing is, there's been some organicness along the way, and as you said, because we made up our mind,
that's right.
doors just open.
Yeah.
So go for it. Give it a shot, is what I'd say.
Awesome.
And much love, eh? Aroha.
Thank you, that was amazing. This is amazing. We are so similar. We're just here to make a difference.
Determined.
Oh, yes, yeah. Wow. I guess you got this message now. Girls can do anything. Tracy can do, I can do, you can do.
Certainly.
Nothing can hold you back. And really, life is 10% what happens to you, but 90% is how you react to it.
Sure.
So you can make a difference. My challenge for you is follow your heart, chase your dreams, and make a plan to take action, take the first step to actually do what you want to do. Girls can do anything. Woo! We are a crazy team today, but it's good.
That's a good one.
Oh, heck yeah, good vibes coming through here today. So remember, we are on this journey together. Let's start the conversation, share your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel. Enjoy life, live in the moment, and most of all, be unstoppable. Yeah. You are worth it, and it's all that matters. It's time to talk. Bye for now. See you soon.